Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. This is a type of video I haven't done in a while. It's a contest entry for everybody's friend Rod, Happy Hippie the Vinyl Guy. Um, when you're listing the most supportive people on YouTube, Rod is probably in the top three, maybe number one. He finds time for everybody's videos. He's always commenting. He's early to comment on any of my videos. He's usually one of the first 4 or 5 views that I have on a video. Rod has sent me some great gifts in the last year and a half or so. Just recently, he sent me a vinyl copy of Infidels by Bob Dylan, as well as a cool magazine and some cards. So always grateful, Rod, for your generosity. And Rod is celebrating 4 years on YouTube making music-related videos. So congrats, Rod. And he's just putting the contest on just to say thanks to his subscribers and to new viewers. And his contest is really easy. What he wants is for us to talk about our 2023 wish list musically. Now, it can be anything music related. And he just said, list 10 things. He said the only stipulation is you have to answer one question at the end, which I'll get to at the end. So without any further ado, in no particular order, let me just start into it. So number one, I want the company, the record company, Run Out Groove, to put out a pressing of Headquarters by the Monkees. Run Out Groove has done a great job over the last couple of years putting out the first 2 Monkees albums, The Monkees and More of the Monkees, 2 vinyl sets with a great booklet, gatefold, top of the line pressing. It's overseen by Andrew Sandoval, who is a huge name in the Monkees and the Kinks communities. We went this whole year without hearing about Headquarters. It took a long time for them to get the More of the Monkees vinyl out, pressing plants and that sort of thing. So maybe next year we'll finally get Headquarters. So I'm hoping for that. Number 2, and I think it's on a lot of people's wish list, especially now with the new Revolver set coming out in just a few days since recording this. It comes out on Friday the 28th. I want Rubber Soul to come out. Everybody wants Rubber Soul to come out, remixed by Giles Martin, the whole shebang, box set, book, alternate takes, demos, whatever. Rubber Soul, it's got to happen. Number 3, a shout out to my fellow Cosmic Torpedo, Glenn Kellaway, who also had the same wish on his entry. I would just like to jam with Glenn some more on his trips up and down the East Coast, visiting his daughter in Florida. It's been a while since the Cosmic Torpedoes get together. The last time that we had an opportunity, yours truly fell ill with COVID. So hopefully, Glenn will be able to come back to my abode very soon in the early parts of 2023. So more Cosmic Torpedoes. Stay tuned. Number 4, I would like to see a new Avett Brothers album. Those of you that know me know I love the Avett Brothers, Americana folk band. Their last effort was in 2020. They released an EP called The Gleam, The Third Gleam. They released 2 other Gleams probably about 10 years before this one. If not, actually, I think about 14 or 15 years. And it was an 8-track EP, so it was almost like an album. It clocked in just about at half an hour. But they haven't released an album since Closer Than Together. And I know they're always writing. They're always trying out new songs on the road. So Scott, Seth, I'd love to see a new full-length Avett album. Number 5, I want to see Bob Dylan again. I saw him earlier this year in April on the Rough and Rowdy Ways tour. He hasn't announced any dates in the central part of the East Coast. I saw him in North Carolina, but he hasn't announced anything in the Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland area. So hopefully, in the early part of next year, he'll announce some early or late winter dates. So I'd love to see Bob Dylan for a 5th time. I'd love to see a final Brian Wilson album. I know Brian Wilson's not been in the best health, but he's been teasing since the No Peer Pressure album, which at this point came out in 2014. So it's, creeping up on almost a decade since any new original music in a full-length album has come out by Brian Wilson. He's been teasing a rock and roll album for years since No Peer Pressure came out. Last year, he released the solo instrumental album called At My Piano, which is just Brian playing Beach Boys and Brian Wilson tracks on the piano. But I would really like to see this rock and roll album come into fruition. I think he's been in and out of the studio the last few years, recording a song or two. So even if it's just like, conglomeration of all those tracks, I'd love to see a final vocal Brian Wilson album. Number 7, I would love another local record store in my area. I've only got one small record store, and it's great. It's a little bit overpriced for what they offer. They focus more on like punk rock and metal. They've got, Beatles, the Byrds, Sinatra, stuff like that, but they really need like a full all out record store in my area. I'm very grateful for the one that I have, because I know a lot of people are not as fortunate to have a record store. But in my town, which is quickly becoming a popular music town, especially between artists that travel from DC down to Greensboro, or kind of a middle ground, I'd love to see another record store in my area. Number 8, kind of a selfish reason. It's music related because it involves the vinyl community, and that's for me to hit 1,000 subscribers in the next year. I'm kind of stuck on 540, which has taken me almost 2 years to get to. And, I would love to have another surge of subscribers. Yeah, I'm doing everything I can, I guess, to try to get to that 1,000 mark, but it's taking its time, and it's frustrating, but what can you do? Number 9, I would have really loved to go and put some money together and buy a 12-string Rickenbacker electric guitar. I've eyeballed a few online, kind of the lower end Ricks, and I would just love to have that jangly guitar that the Byrds used, George Harrison used, Mike Campbell used, and the Heartbreakers. I would just love to have that Rickenbacker, in my arsenal of guitars. So that's number 9. And number 10, kind of a segue there. I would love to see all of the surviving members of the Heartbreakers get together and play, in whatever format that would be, whether it would be them doing a benefit with Mike Campbell singing, or to do the Wildflowers tour that Tom Petty was talking about, that with guest singers. There are so many people that could take that role. Stevie Nicks, to have the Heartbreakers behind her. Guys like Chris Stapleton, who's toured with Mike Campbell before and has written with him a few times. Even guys like if Roger McGuinn did some songs, Marty Stewart, guys like that, with the Heartbreakers behind them, I think that would just be a phenomenal show. So I would love to see, Mike Campbell, Benmont Tench, Ron Blair, Stan Lynch, who's played with Mike Campbell recently, Steve Ferrone, and Scott Thurston all get together in some capacity and kind of do a tribute to Tom. So those are my 10 wishes for 2023. The last thing that Rod wants us to do is, and he says it's not necessarily, we're not killing somebody off, but it's like to replace somebody with somebody that's gone. So he said, a musician today, take them, kind of wipe their career off the map and bring somebody who's no longer with us back. So obviously, I'm going to get rid of Kanye West, who I have my opinions about, and who a lot of people have opinions about. I won't get into that, but I think Kanye West could get the boot and give us back Tom Petty. Tom Petty had a lot of good music left in him. He was wanting to do that Wildflowers tour. He wanted to put out the box set, which finally did come out. I think, Mudcrutch could have done another album. The Heartbreakers, he could have done another album, with Jeff Lynne. There was so much out there that Tom could have done, a country album, a covers album, whatever. I would have loved to see Tom Petty back. So anyway, there you go, Rod. Please go subscribe to Rod's channel. I'm going to have his original contest video below. Thank you for putting on the contest, Rod. You're the best. In the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. Talk to y'all real soon. Bye now.